So Sarah and I have written something together. It's called an eye contact simulator. Am I starting?
Yes.
You have been prescribed the use of an eye contact simulator as our society, like all societies, values interpersonal connections. There are observations everywhere, sometimes still, sometimes moving, with what you perceive to be hostility. You recoil from unexpected touch, no matter how gentle, incidental, or well-intentioned. You must learn to take constructive criticism of the failings at the core of your being in good spirits, to think of yourself in a positive sense, opening doors and removing your eccentricities. This sprite is too small to have an expression.
You call this intimacy? You cannot be helped in profile. In the therapeutic sector, we demonstrate commitment through the eyes. There's no commitment in right angles. I must be able to recall you at any time, in situations imagined as well as real. You describe the antagonist, a composite of facial features. Do you think I'm the antagonist? An observation, you are scared. You hinder the production of marketing images, believing your likeness is used to sell careers in finance. In the photo, your eyes say you are working on a task together. An observation, you pull at peeling lip skin with your teeth.
You can never be sure what is a door. You feel the air from your balcony, the roar of the air conditioners, and the solidity of the railings. Eyeball, arm, knife, coin. Shake your head as your hand refuses to reach towards the door. I would rather be endless static ladders ascending and descending. Object to your objection of an object. There is now only one object with colour, as the world is white, but it is not snowing. This is perfect isolation. There is little pleasure or interest to be gained in doing things. Your bed is soft, and your carpet is rough, and the door is heavier than either one. You're a NASCAR line suspended below yourself. You're a plucked eyeball, a dismembered hand, a tomb engraving animated and shuddering across nothingness. You find the ghost in the sewer and remove your face, a thing with quivering jaw, a forest with grasping arms. You exist aghast in the strenuous moments of rhythmic clicking. You are building only with doors, corridors, staircases, and endless halls of blackness flecked with sparkling rain.
You are a pair of eyes above water level. Shifting your weight to where it can be forgotten, you sacrifice your power to break the ice. Your icon is too small to display fear. Forgetting that the self should reside in the toe as much as the eye, you scan the snow for effects. You apply the bicycle to accelerate across the snow. You prefer auditory temperature, which cannot cause pain in your feet. Your icon is too small to have a gait. You can no longer be judged graceless. So relieved to sacrifice your power to test each muscle.
You had a job interview at a company that makes artificial intelligence systems on June 14th, 2017. They took you onto the roof where you were served macarons as a black haze drifted across the city. How fresh did the air feel on the roof of the Google building in King's Cross? How clear would the sky have been if it wasn't for the fire? The recruitment consultant said that her phone had woken her up with an urgent news alert at 4 a.m, but she had gone back to sleep immediately. You remember being ill at ease with the exceptionally cheerful girl from Devon who acted like your friend despite the fact that you had never met before, and she was, in effect, your competition. You experience horrifying repetitive dreams in which you are always running, yet you never truly move. You open a door, and behind the door there are other doors, eyes on the TV screen, girls with beaks, and intestinal corridors. You are always alone until you are not alone, and yet there is never another human even then. You sit down at a desk, and firmly lock eyes with the people across from you. This violation is evidence of your worth to them. This loneliness comes because the internet is full of eyes dreaming back at you.
Your job is to rephrase the request without causing offence to procurement. Sentences starting, when you have children. You understand that she touches your forearm in search of connection. The eyeball says she doesn't do small talk. You are so funny sometimes you don't even realise how funny you are. You believe that she wants you to ask her why she is laughing. You are one of the ones we don't have to worry about. We know you are always two eyes and two hands. You know that only 6 weeks are funded.
You know that your current food supplies will last a few months at best.
You expressed concern about the reasonable chance of recovery clause.
You know where you can find a convenience store to spend the mouldy money in your wallet.
Your proposal must include a timeline.
You're on a very long road trip.
You told me the red pulse in Maze was really helping, but I couldn't observe anything that would verify this.
You first go south, then return north.
You spoke about how music could be a frog and did not require progression.
You drove upon progressively smaller roads until eventually you abandoned your truck and withdrew into the trees.
Your target is to locate household objects that resemble faces.
You watch people from the edge of the forest or floating at the shoreline.
Your target is to trigger the grass rustler sound effect 20 times.
You learn their patterns and steal foods from their kitchen at night.
You know of the phenomenon of solo diners. You make yourself the object of the restaurant window. A topical photo is published. Readers observe that you upturn the spoon instead of sipping. You must remember that solitude makes your saliva loud. The ruminator hops on his lower jaw and smiles insincerely. The problem is finding a below that hasn't worms or roots. Your goal for this session is to smile back at the ruminator, knowing he licks his lips while your eyes are closed.
You pay online, and so the only exchange you have with the delivery man is food passing between hands. The exchange is silent, but you feel some shallow shame for not saying thank you. You know how the exchanges work, that you can get a baguette in Tesco for 50p and use the self-service checkout, that you can use the self-service soup station in the canteen for £1.20, that you can top up your Oyster card online and attempt to avoid eye contact, body contact, the exchange of breath as you slump in the corner of the carriage. You know that as the system circulates, it contracts, like the air leaving the carriage, like the sky moving down, like the people coming in too close, like the door offering safety, like silence offering safety, like that want to be alone becoming a need, like the outside world closing in against the door as you shake your head and go to sleep.
You try Googling how to get lost, but the results are spiritual, not practical. Not caring to become a better tourist. Your problem is how to go further inside when you are already inside. How to excavate a basement when you live on the 19th floor. A basement with rain and no antagonists. How do your dreams program those loops in the shopping centre's loading bay? How do you make it generic? You are late for your job from 5 years ago.
You equate loss of location with a sense of hopelessness. Once, home was something that you felt to be hermetically sealed, but this sense of stability has been replaced by an intangible vulnerability. Here the ceiling is too low, here the walls close in on you, here there is no allowance made by the provided furniture for a desk or for books. You feel these things are more necessary than a window or a balcony. What are your intentions for this place? How long do you intend to stay before you will leave?
Your upstairs neighbours cannot hear the furnace at the bottom of the escalator, but if you turn in bed, it may upset their internal monologue. How do you know that the pacing being is sentient? You believe they still walk out into overhearing city wind. You cannot hear each other eating, but you can influence the other's temperament through gait. You should knock on the ceiling to form a relationship you cannot hide from. You should respond to knocks to the ceiling promptly and at all hours. You will find that you wish to progress to reading eyes and posture.
You do not know what to make of these small moments of connection, which are not unpleasant as you might have come to expect them to be. You hear breathing from behind the wall, and breathing from the wall. Your dream diary, open for exploration, is uploaded to the internet. Every day, twice a day, you catch a train. You know that if you equip the frog, you will be able to move quickly through the water to a balloon and enter a house where the light switch will cause a sudden change in the body. From the audience, you observe the sound and plug your ears. You have come to understand why you do not understand. You will find that you wish to progress to reading eyes and posture. You have been prescribed the use of an eye contact simulator, as our society, like all societies, values interpersonal connections.